Welcome. It's been a little bit. I'm sorry. I was sick. All right, I was sick. I meant to film. I still sound a little gooey, but you guys are gonna deal with it because we gotta talk about the puppet today. We gotta talk about the puppet and Jackie and what I think is going on in the Pizzaplex, okay? We got a big one ahead of us today. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure you go ahead and subscribe. I think like 80% of you that watch these videos aren't subscribed. And honestly, that's just kind of rude. That's just kind of rude. You know, I'm pouring myself out for you guys. The least you could do is go ahead and click that little subscribe button. You know, the more of you that subscribe, the better I can do cosplays. This is what I'm working with right now, okay? I got a bald cap, I got some paper cutouts, some tape, and a turtleneck. Imagine what I could do if I had the resources. Imagine. You know what? If we hit, I'm putting out a crazy number. If we hit 10K, I know that's literally double what I have, but if we hit 10K, I will cosplay whatever you guys want. I'll do it. I'll do it. I will do it. But I can't do it without you. I just can't. So make sure you guys subscribe. And another fun little tidbit is make sure you guys join the Tier 2 membership, the Cotton Candy Cadets, for a chance to be featured on this board. We have 2 of our members on this board today, and we'll be getting into them shortly. So if you would like to be on this board and get a chance to be part of my canon FNAF lore, make sure you go ahead and join the Cotton Candy Cadets. But with all of that said, we gotta talk about the puppet. Okay, so if you've seen my I solved Secret of the Mimic or whatever the heck I named that video, that video, which if you haven't seen it, go check it out. Go give it a little like-see. But if you have seen it, you would have possibly noticed one big issue. I completely forgot to talk about Jackie. Like, I completely forgot to talk about Jackie. She was on the board, I just never talked about her. And that's what I get for not scripting these. For anybody that thinks these are scripted, they're really not. I pick out pictures and then I just wing it. So I don't know, you know, you guys are finding out at the same time what's gonna happen. Anything can happen. Anything could happen here. So I forgot to talk about Jackie. And that's what we're gonna talk about today. In Secret of the Mimic, Jackie was this Jack in the Box character that we had a little chase sequence with. She kind of got the Vanny treatment in which she was pretty hyped up during, you know, the press run or whatever you want to call it. She was at PAX, I think is what it's called, and she was pretty hyped up just to literally only be like one chase sequence in the game, and a pretty minimal one at that. Like, I don't know, her chase kind of reminded me, don't kill me. Her chase kind of reminded me of Poppy Playtime. So, I don't know, like, it just gave me Huggy Wuggy vibes. And yes, okay, I know, I'm not going on the FNAF is going down the Poppy Playtime. I'm not doing that, but her chase specifically, it just reminded me of Poppy Playtime. God, this thing is itchy. But there were some very interesting little tidbits about her that I feel like some people have kind of looked at, but a lot of people I think are taking it at face value when I think it can go even further. So that's what we're gonna get into. So with Jackie, there are a couple similarities to her and the puppet. I mean, first of all, if you look at, they're both in a box. They're both literally in a present box. So at face value, there's already a connection there. But there are a couple other things that I'd like to point out. Jackie has green eyes, a color that is associated with Charlie and therefore the puppet. So I think that that could be another little instance of, oh, look here. Now, granted, she does have the red hair and green eyes. You could also equate it to like baby, I guess. But in this case, I'm equating the green eyes to the puppet. Now, another interesting thing, and this is the biggest thing, is at the end of the Jackie chase, you literally hear the puppet's music box. Like, that's pretty in your face. Hey, there's a connection here. I'll play it right here. Great, so with that, it's kind of telling us, hey, look at the puppet, look at Jackie, there's something going on here. And that's not even touching on the fact that in Edwin's house, not in the admin wing, in Edwin's house at the end of the game, if we go onto his personal computer, we can see something that says Access Puppet Designs. Access Puppet Design. It's right there. It's literally telling us that Edwin is who designed the puppet. So I don't know how I feel about that quite yet, since we always assumed that it was Henry that built it specifically for Charlie, and I do think that he did build it. I don't think that Edwin ever got the chance to build the puppet, but I do think he designed it. So stay with me here. This would mean that somehow the puppet is linked to both Edwin on his personal computer and Jackie. And that's before even getting into anything later in the puppet's story. It's at its core based on something that was created in Murray's costume manor. So what does that mean the puppet is? Well, I think that the puppet was an M3. I know. Some people, look, I know there's a lot of arguments. Denari, there's only one endoskeleton and it's just M1, and then the M1 program gets taken out and then it's M2. I think there's multiple endoskeletons. I do. I think there is. And I think that the puppet was meant to be an M3, another babysitter for David. But Edwin never got around to building that because, as we all know, Edwin is a horrible father, a horrible, horrible father, and his robo-wife also failed and David died. So he never got to build it. But somebody, a beautiful corporation takes over MCM. And what would they find? Well, they would find the puppet designs. And who is in this organization? Henry. So this would give Henry the opportunity to take these puppet designs from Edwin and build them in his own way. Now, one thing he didn't know, though, is that basically everything Edwin ever designed, it doesn't work out. So yeah, I am saying that I believe the puppet was a mimic all along. Now, I think there's also evidence for this in the core games. If we look at FNAF 2, where we have the withered animatronics here, they all behave pretty similar to each other. It's your typical, oh, check the cameras, oh, they're gonna come eat me, oh, put the mask on, oh, shoot the flashlight, close the door. It's, what is that voice? I just realized what the voice I was doing was, so I have to, sorry, side tangent. That voice that I just was doing, it was an old Dungeons and Dragons. I used to game master for Dungeons and Dragons, and that was an old character. I haven't seen him in a little bit. His name is Gillivan Soup, and he is a gnome. He's a god. Let me make that clear. He is the god of war, and he is a little tiny little gnome, and he talks like that. And his whole entire shtick is he wants the firstborn children of people. Because he lost a bet with one of the other gods, and he doesn't want to like actually have to go put in the work to get his own firstborn children with a bunch of ladies, so he just steals other ones to give it to him. I don't know what I was on when I was writing that. I didn't write that either. When I would game master, I literally, that was off the cuff too. Like, I would come in with my notes. I'd come in with, and it's just blank pages, to make it look like I'm prepared, but it's just blank. I had no clue. The players found out what was going on as soon as I did. But yeah, I just realized Gillivan Soup came out, so there's your introduction to that man. But yes, the withered animatronics. Now, they act differently than the puppet, who is also in FNAF 2. Now, the way that the puppet works is you need to wind this music box and keep it wound. If you don't, then the puppet is going to attack you. So it's kind of like a resource management thing rather than reactionary. You're trying to prevent the puppet from getting to you rather than reacting to the other animatronics and the way that they come at you. So it's a different core style even. So whenever you look at that puppet and the way that it's coming at you, it's not the same as the other animatronics. With all of the other animatronics, you see them coming out, you click that button, you click it, and you save yourself. With the puppet, if you die to the puppet, it's your own fault for not taking care of the puppet. And that doesn't even get into the backstory of the puppet. Now, we know that this puppet was created by Henry/Edwin, designed by Edwin, probably built by Henry, to guard and babysit his daughter, Charlie. So Charlie is Henry's daughter, who is eventually by William Afton. William Afton. But with it, Charlie wears this green band. Now this little green band right here, that's why we associate the color green with Charlie. So whenever we see the mini games in FNAF 6, it kind of gives us a clear picture that this puppet was created to babysit her, and it gets trapped in its little gift box and it can't go get her while she's being by William Afton. But wait, that means that this puppet animatronic, it has the capabilities to identify a color, that's the color it needs to watch, protect over that color specifically, scan the environment and make, note of its surroundings. That sounds pretty advanced for an animatronic. So I think that this is behaving with some sort of AI cortex in its machinery. That would mean that it has the ability to think on its own. It's not like the other fun times where they're connected to, criminal database systems. This puppet has to think and act on its own, scan its it's not just scanning faces, it's scanning the environment, surroundings, what's happening around it. And even when Charlie is, outside, the puppet still goes after her to find her. It's not just, it has a mission and it is going to follow through that mission. I think that's pretty indicative of an AI machinery that is following its orders. It's got this ability to think and act. And whenever it sees Charlie dead on the floor in the rain, it knows that if it goes into this rain, it's gonna die. But it still does it to go protect Charlie. So it's able to think, and all it wants to do is protect her. So I think that kind of reminds me in a way of what M1/M2 was supposed to do for David. I think it's very similar. But that leads me to one little tidbit that I don't think anybody has thought of yet. If the puppet is running a sort of M3 AI programming in it, that would mean that there are two entities inside of the puppet. Once Charlie and Charlie's. It is our first member, Calebtron. I don't know what this picture is, brother. I don't know, but it's kind of what I feel like Agony looks like in my head. I know like it's not, but that's like my canon Agony. So you're Agony now. What is this? What is this? What is this? Like, is it like an overgrown, like, roach in Dead Space? I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's Agony. Please tell me what it is. Anyway, it's Agony now. Charlie's agony is what ends up possessing the puppet. So that would mean that there are two kind of entities within the puppet. You've got Charlie's agony, and you've got the AI personality. That's two separate things. If we're, going down this path of sci-fi, AI, and I mean, we've got so many instances of, disclaimer before I get into it, I am aware that dissociative identity disorder, or DID, it is a very real condition, but it does not mean that person is bad or evil if they live with that condition. This is just, unfortunately, a trope that we see in a lot of horror media. I mean, there's been like that movie Split. I mean, we're even seeing it in the later things with like Vanny Vanessa, even Golden Freddy in a way. And it does not mean that they are evil. Just because we commonly see it associated with villains, do not Do not think anybody that struggles with this is evil. If you do, get off my channel. Genuinely. This is a safe space for all mental health conditions. I do not want to hear it just because it is a unfortunate trope that keeps being used in this media. I do have to talk about it, but I want to be clear that it in no way represents any real life people that struggle with this condition that it is presenting. Anyway, back to what I'm saying. That would mean that the puppet is kind of a split personality with, I'm gonna call it M3, the program. Granted, it might not be an M3, that's just what I'm gonna call it in this video. An M3 program and Charlie's spirit. That I think actually could line up with Nightmarione. Now, Nightmarione is a character that we see first introduced in the FNAF 4 Halloween update. But note, it is not canon in that update. It does later become canon. Technically, the Nightmarione's canon introduction is in FNAF Help Wanted, and this is confirmed in Ruin, which Cassie says when you get the Nightmarione plush, oh, it's from that old headset game. So that would mean, I would think that would mean that Nightmarione is canonly introduced in Help Wanted. I mean, we've been getting this concept pushed onto us a lot. If you look at even in Secret of the Mimic, in moon.exe, it's sun and moon, light and dark, life and destruction. Like, it's the light and the dark. I mean, literally Nightmarione, which is the nightmare puppet, versus the regular, like, that's literally light and dark, death and destruction, or death and life, and you know what I mean? And I think we actually have a little bit more evidence for this. Now, one of the things I needed to think about when I was working through this, and I think I don't have a clear answer, but I think this is going to be our biggest thing in theorizing going forward. When did Scott change the story? When did he change the story? You cannot convince me this was the story in FNAF 1, FNAF 2, FNAF 3, FNAF 4. You can't. You cannot convince me that this was the story. So when did it change? When did he change it? Well, I think it was changed shortly after FNAF 4 because he had that whole thing where it was like, what's in the box? I think it's better if the box doesn't stay, you know, whatever. And I mean, it was pretty clear. I think he was going for dream theory. Nobody liked it, and he went in a different direction. That's my opinion. And allegedly, in my opinion, I think that's what happened. So I think that's when he changed the story, because after that, then we get Sister Location, which very clearly goes way more sci-fi. Way more sci-fi. So I think that's when we were actually getting this kind of, and I don't necessarily think it was the Mimic AI from the beginning, even in Sister Location. I think this is just what it's evolved into. But that's when I think he started going sci-fi and changed this. You know what? If it's one retcon, I think what he considers a retcon is, I'm just gonna change the entire way that this is gonna go. It's one retcon. If I change everything at once, it's just one. And that's what I personally think happened. But with that, if we go to Pizzeria Simulator, which is FNAF 6, we see Lefty. Now, Lefty is a animatronic robot that was created by Henry to lure the puppet to the Pizzaplex. But there is something weird with Lefty, and that's the fact that he only has one eye. And I think that that could actually, you know, align with my theory of it being two souls in one. The other, you know, character that we see with different eyes, one eye, whatever you want to call it, is Golden Freddy, who we know has two spirits in him. So the fact that Lefty only has one eye, I think that could possibly tell us that maybe there's something more going on here. Maybe it only captured one of the entities. I think it only captured Charlie, not M3. It only captured Charlie because it was built to prey on the weaknesses that Henry knew his daughter would have. He knew she would go and help it. He knew. So that's preying specifically on Charlie. So I think that Lefty only has Charlie in it, and it does not have the M3 bit of it in it, which I believe is Nightmarione. And I do think that this now explains A, how the Pizzaplex gets infected with the Mimic AI virus, and B, it gives us a really nice explanation for why the heck are there Nightmarione plushes everywhere? I just realized I'm missing photos. I swear I printed them out, but I guess they didn't print. Shoot. Okay, I meant to have this in here too. The staff bots. Like, there's, wait, I'm missing so many photos and I'm just now realizing it. Shoot. That's the arcade cabinets that got like the little puppet arms coming out of them. I don't know what happened. Did I just not print them? Hold on. Oh, I think I overwrote the print job. I just turned on my iPad, which had the print job, and now it's all printing. I don't even know what I printed. I guess we'll wait for it. Okay, so one, I just cut it out. One was a staff bot. Okay, I'm sitting on the floor while I'm waiting for this, and I'm seeing this thing come out of the printer. I forgot that I did this. I edited this one pretty late at night. It's Nightmarione. Why did I do this? All right, I guess I'll cut it out. When I was a young boy, my father took me into the city. I guess we'll, I don't know where he'll go. Okay, there's Nightmarione. What is the next one? What did it print? Okay, well, it's printing, all right. Well, in the meantime, while I'm waiting for this to print, something I really want to do is make a video or stream me playing Dress to Impress and like flexing on all the 8-year-olds. Would anyone watch me do that? Because I really like playing Dress to Impress. I really like Dress to Impress. I wanted to show the significance of green, which is Charlie, versus purple, which is Afton. So I edited the Wicked post. What was I doing? I don't even know where to put this. I guess we'll just put it here. Let us be glad, let us be grateful, let us rejoicify that goodness could subdue the wicked workings of you know. This is my life. Okay, I think I was talking about like the Nightmarione thingies being everywhere. Yeah, that's why I think they're there, because it's not literally Charlie. I think that is the Mimic AI virus that infected the Pizzaplex. It's the Nightmarione, the Nightmarione virus, the Mimic virus infecting the Pizzaplex. So that's why I think we have that virus in there. That's also why we keep seeing the colors of the green versus purple, because it literally is the green, which is associated with Charlie / the puppet / M3 is what I'm calling it, versus purple, which is associated with William Afton. It is still fighting against, you know, if we're going under the notion of Glitch Trap is another version of this Mimic virus, it's literally Mimic versus Mimic. It's literally Mimic versus Mimic. I can't do this. I'd rather be bald. So I think that's what this is all leading up to, is in a very, very jumbled way, in my very roundabout look, I'm still sick. I'm still sick. Give me a break in this very jumbled roundabout way. Wait, did I talk about everything? Yeah, I think I did. Okay, I think I covered. Wait, no, I didn't. in the Pizzaplex, there's the blob. The blob, and I think that is another force that's also in play in all of this. This is all leading up to literally like the Avengers Endgame of FNAF. Now the blob is our other community member, Labagorda. I don't know how to say your name. I'm so sorry. Labagorda. Yeah, that sounds right, I think. That photo looks a little blobby to me, you know? So I felt like it worked. It worked to me. It's like a big little blob cat. Anyway, it's literally going to turn into the blob versus glitch trap, burn trap, whatever the heck's going on there, versus the M3 virus that I think is through the Pizzaplex. Like, it's literally all building up to be, like I just said, the Avengers Endgame of FNAF, where all of these characters, entities, and stuff that's even just now getting introduced, so I don't know how I feel about that, but it's all getting put into this one amalgamation that's all gonna fight against each other. That's where I think we're heading to. I think we've got to reboot this story at some point, Scott. We can't keep just digging a hole. We've got to reboot it at some point, and I actually think this would be a perfect way to do that. So that's kind of my theory, I guess. I don't really know what I even spoke about in this. I'm souped up on Dayquil right now. So I really don't know what I actually just said, but I wanted to get a video out for you guys because I know it's been a little bit, and yeah, that's what I've got for you. That's what I've got for you this week. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you want to be featured on the theory board, make sure you join our Tier 2 membership, the Candy Cadets. Thank you to everybody who has joined. Like, seriously, thank you so, so, so much. It makes me able to do this stuff for you guys, and I love doing it. I would like to try to come up with some other video ideas of stuff I can post for you, whether it's gameplay or more casual videos, since these two take a bit to actually set up, and I'd like to post a little bit more frequently. So if you have any ideas of stuff that you would be interested in, let me know. But with all of that said, again, thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Psych! I'm back! I was reminded by one of our amazing community members, Marionette. I think that's how you say it. I am so sorry if I just butchered that. I haven't shown the back of the board yet. So this is literally the back of the board. You can tell because it's still shiny, and I don't feel like spray painting this one. For the other side, I had to spray paint it so it's matte, so like the lights don't shine on it. But anyway, this is our community board with all of our amazing channel members. So if you would like to be on this board, make sure you subscribe to one of the memberships. I think I said I was gonna do it for the second tier, but you know what? Screw it. If you're in the first tier, you're up here too. I really don't care. It's a community celebration. So yeah, I'm back in my natural Denari form and no longer in my puppet wear. I got out of that thing. As soon as I said bye, I ran and got out of that thing. That bald cap was itchy. So yeah, this is, you know, but thank you to our amazing community members. I appreciate you all so, so, so much, and I hope to see more of you guys up here. I want to fill this board completely because the glare bothers me, and there's glare all over it. So the more of you that subscribe, I can put more photos on here, and the paper doesn't glare. And yeah, and then we can see all of your beautiful faces and icons up here. Although you, Murray the Sane, you need an icon, brother. I can't just put the letter M up here. Come on, I'm calling you out. I'm bullying you. You got to get a little icon. You can make it like a little shark or something. That's what I would do. Anyway, again, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to all of our community channel members. I appreciate you all so much, and I hope that the next video, we're gonna have way more of you guys up here. So I will catch you in the next one. Thank you again. Bye. For real this time. Bye.